understands his eternal relationship with Krishna. This satisfaction cannot be achieved by any amount of material success. I'll repeat again. Material happiness is temporary and flickering, but spiritual happiness is eternal. One who takes to Krishna consciousness becomes fully satisfied because he understands his eternal relationship with Krishna. This satisfaction cannot be achieved by any amount of material success. May I know who all have joined the call today?
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees. This is Surinder Bandari from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Surinder Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so much for joining the call, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Amritamani Devi Dasi from Augusta, Georgia. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, and all glories to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amritamani Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call and for joining the Japa session and chanting so wonderfully. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all devotees. This is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Malini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining the Japa session and staying with us for consistently. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Anyone else would like to announce their name? All right, then we'll continue with our chanting, and as soon as Prabhuji joins, we will reconvene.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya.
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram,
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 Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Ram
Ram, Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Ram, Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Ram
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Ram, Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Ram, Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Krishna
Ram,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, dear
Krishna,
devotees.
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram
Dandavat Pranam. I see that our speaker has joined. Rupini Mataji, please make sure, can you please turn on the recording? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna, everyone. Today, welcome to Everyday Harinam call. Um, Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Ram Giridhari Prabhuji joining us from Mumbai. Prabhu is going to enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8. Uh, mm, Canto 8, Chapter 10, Verse 1. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Whenever you are ready, you may take over the call.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, and extremely sorry that I logged in late. I got bit late in the previous call. Sorry.
No
Om
problem.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we will read the chapter summary first. Then I will read the verse number 1 of 8th canto, 10th chapter, first verse. The chapter 10 of 8th canto, the battle between the demigods and the demons. The summary of chapter 10 is as follows. Because of envy, the fight between the demons and the demigods continued. When the demigods were almost defeated by demoniac maneuvers and became Moros, Lord Vishnu appeared among them. Both the demigods and the demons are expert in activities involving the material energy. But the demigods are devotees of the Lord, whereas the demons are just the opposite. The demigods and demons churned the milk ocean to get nectar from it, but the demons, not being the devotees of the Lord, could derive no profit. After feeding nectar to the demigods, the Lord Vishnu returned to his abode on the back of Garuda, but the demons, being most aggrieved, again declared war against demigods. Bali Maharaj, the son of Virochana, became the commander-in-chief of the demons. In the beginning of the battle, the demigods prepared to defeat the demons. Indra, king of heaven, fought with Bali, and other demigods like Vayu, Agni, Varuna fought against other leaders of the demons. In this fight, the demons were defeated, and to save themselves from death, they began to manifest many illusions through material maneuvers, killing many soldiers on the side of the demigods. The demigods, finding no other recourse, surrendered again to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who then appeared and counteracted all the illusions presented by the jugglery of the demons. Heroes among the demons such as Kalanemi, Mali, Sumali, and Malyavan fought the Supreme Personality of Godhead and were all killed by the Lord. The demigods were thus freed from all dangers. Text 1 of 8th canto, 10th chapter. Shisuko vacha iti danava daityeya navidan amritam nripa yukta karmani yattascha vasudeva paranmuka. Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, the demons and the Daityas all engage with full attention and effort in churning the ocean, but because they were not devotees of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, they were not able to drink the nectar. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padayam Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The Srimad Bhagavatam is divided into 10 subject matters. Like how Bhagavad Gita deals with 10 subject in 5 subject matters, Srimad Bhagavatam deals with 10 subject matters. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshanam utaya manvantare ishanugata nirodha muktirashraya. Sarga means primary creation, Visarga means secondary creation, Sthanam means how the planetary systems are positioned, Poshanam, 6th canto to 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam deals with the subject matter of Poshanam. Poshanam means protection by the Lord, how the Lord protects his devotees. That is why in this section we will see Ajamila's pastime, Gajendra's pastime, Prahlad Maharaj's pastime, Samudra Manthan pastime. Poshanam is a very important subject because it is one of the primary proclamation of the Supreme Lord, which is Paritranaya Sadhunam. I protect my devotees. Then comes Utaya. What is the impetus for activities? Manvantara, different periods of Manus. Isha Anukata, the signs of Supreme Lord. Nirodha, how the annihilation happens. Mukti, liberation. Ashraya, the supreme shelter. So, this 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in this current context, we are going to discuss about the important Leela Samudra Manthan pastimes, climax. This all started from the very first instance when Indra overlooked the respect offered by Durvasa Muni. From there, all the way till this point in time, several places, several junctures, the Supreme Lord has participated in rescuing demigods. From the very first get-go, when the Lord met the demigods in Kshir Sagar, met meaning when the Lord heard the difficulty of the demigod with the help of Brahma, they all went to Kshir Sagar and made a plea, saying that, my dear Lord, we are now being defeated by the demons, please help. So hearing the situation of the demigod, the Lord said, don't worry, you go, you just simply do what I am asking you to do, I will protect you. He made this promise. So, as the obedient followers of the Supreme Lord, the demigods who are devotees, they went back, but then at every instance of their endeavor to remain calm, they were challenged and they were dethroned. So, they decided to set a fight against demons. In that process, at least multiple roadblocks they had hit. So the Lord come as Kurma avatar. So the Lord suggested how to churn the milk ocean. And the Lord suggested how they can use Vasuki as the rope. So the Lord personally gave lots of suggestions and advice. And in every roadblock, the Lord helped the demigods. So now, in the climax, where the demons, even though they were defeated, but they did not relinquish, they did not give up on the demigods, so they pounced back and trying to attack the demigods. As explained in the summary, they were so much prepared to bring the demigods down. They started to show mystic powers. They started to show black magic. They started to show some sort of magical powers by which they were trying to harm the demigods. And the demigods, with their best possible efforts, they were fighting with demons, but then eventually they had to take shelter of Krishna. Eventually they have to take shelter of Narayana. So this chapter is going to describe about the fight as well as how the Lord personally protects his devotees. So in this current context, we are going to have a few reflections to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The first reflection is about the nature of the Supreme Lord. Meaning, the Supreme Lord considers each and every one of us as his beloved child, and it is impossible for the Lord to keep quiet and not do anything when his dear devotees are being punished or tortured, unless the punishment and torture is directed by the Supreme Lord for our course correction. Meaning, if somebody has already surrendered to Krishna, it is impossible for that person to go through failures. Apparently, it may appear that a practicing devotee is going through certain challenges. But because of the nature of Krishna consciousness, the nature of the process of surrender to Krishna is such that they will be freed from all sorts of anomalies and animosity. So Krishna, through these episodes, is going to win back demigods and finally establish that those who are performing favorable service, they are intelligent, and let us also follow their footsteps. Anukulyena Krishna Anusilanam. So, this particular context, we will divide them into 3 sets of reflections and try to learn some lessons for us. The first reflection is about the sense of dependency of the Lord and the sense of urgency shown by the Lord. The sense of urgency and dependency, they are a very wonderful combination, because a Vaishnava in his life, he puts his entire stake in surrendering to Krishna, leaving aside all the other quotients. Let me surrender to Krishna and not worry about every possible external quotient. The net outcome is glorious. If you are not surrendered to Krishna, then we have a different trajectory altogether. But those of us who have surrendered to Krishna, those of us who have demonstrated the sense of dependency on the Lord, then the Lord shows sense of urgency. The sense of dependency is such that they are completely, fully invested in glorifying Krishna, that their personal life is given second priority. The demigods, even though they tend to commit mistakes, because of their humble, obedient, and dependent nature that is dependent on the Supreme Lord, that they are always protected. So, the sense of dependency need to be built in. Then Krishna will show the sense of urgency to protect. When I say sense of urgency to protect, it doesn't mean that Krishna will come as soon as the problem comes. It means Krishna will ensure that as he comes, he not only protects, he actually glorifies the Vaishnava. I'll give you a couple of examples about the sense of urgency versus sense of dependency. One example is that of Tukaram Maharaj. His abang were mocked by the village people. Tukaram Maharaj wrote several 100,000 abangs. And the village people thought that this was just some emotional joke. Tukaram Maharaj is writing whatever he thinks he can. So they challenged Tukaram Maharaj and called the entire village and said that whatever Tukaram Maharaj is writing is simply sense gratification, mental speculation. It's all waste. So Tukaram Maharaj pleaded, I'm sorry, please don't think like that. This is my love for Lord Vittal. So you can please allow me to perform this service. In a very humble manner, Tukaram Maharaj pleaded. So all the village people together said that let us put Tukaram Maharaj's devotion to test. So The test was the abang will be thrown into Indriyani river, and if the abang comes back, then we can accept that Tukaram Maharaj's endeavor is divine. Tukaram Maharaj, without blinking an eye, without thinking, he said, okay, agreed. And they threw the abang inside the Indriyani river. Even though it was very disheartening to watch, because of his extraordinary dependency and appreciation for the Supreme Lord's care and kindness towards him, Tukaram Maharaj went on to a fast till the abang is coming back. So, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 7 days, the abang did not come back. So, by then the entire village started to claim that Tukaram Maharaj's endeavor is bogus. See, even the Nadi rejected it. So Tukaram Maharaj felt very sad, and finally he cried, saying that, my dear Lord, if you are going to reject me like this, what is the value of me maintaining my body? I would as well give up my life. So when he was about to give up his life, Mother Indriyani appeared and brought all the abangs. And the abang that she brought made everyone to realize that they made a big mistake. But somebody asked, why did she take so much time? She said that who will lose this opportunity of reading this Abhanga? So that's why it took 7 days to read all the wonderful glorifications of Krishna, Vishnu, Vittal, and now came back. So, because of the extraordinary dependency of Tukaram Maharaj on Lord Vittal, Lord had performed some interesting leela to demonstrate the dependency of the student, dependency of the Vaishnava, and also demonstrated the sense of urgency. Making urgency here refers to, I leave everything aside to protect, establish. My devotee is special. The delay was not to demean anyone. The delay was to enhance that in spite of the delay, my devotee is still surrendered. In spite of me not reciprocating the same manner as my devotee expects, the response is same. I can count unlimited examples. Draupadi, last moment, Krishna came for rescue. Zanabai, last minute Krishna came and rescued. Arjuna in the war field, last minute Krishna came and rescued. Srila Prabhupada, last minute Krishna came and rescued. Srila Prabhupada was in America for almost 1 year. He begged Sumati Morarji and went to America. At the end of 1 year, he was almost a couple of times frustrated, saying that, oh my God, there's nothing happening here. I would as well go back. So he kept pestering Sumati Morarji, please take me back. What did she say? She said, that I told you not to go. You went. Now that you went, don't come back. Maybe she mocked at him. Maybe she had genuine desire to encourage. But then finally, Prabhupada could take off in his preaching initiatives. So my first reflection is that the sense of dependency will definitely attract the sense of urgency from Krishna. Krishna, sometimes in the sense of urgency, he will forget his own identity and behave like a surrendered soul. There is a devotee in Dakshin Bharat. This devotee used to be a very strong servant of Srimad Narayana. So when that devotee was insulted by the king, the devotee said to his spiritual master that I have been asked to leave the country. Please leave the province. The spiritual master said, I will also leave the province if you are not going to be here. Then the spiritual master, his name is Thirumalise Alvar. He went to Narayana in Kanchipuram and told, I am leaving. My disciple is leaving. What do you have to do here? Leave. It's such a wonderful Leela that the Lord rolled his Ananta Sesha bed and started walking behind his devotees. It's a long pastime, but because of one call, one instance, the Lord immediately decided to go by the suggestion, recommendation, challenge of the Vaishnava. He is very special. So my first reflection is about the sense of dependency attracts the sense of urgency. The urgency here refers to the sense of urgency from the Supreme Lord to protect his devotees, to glorify his devotees, and to celebrate with devotees, and to establish to the whole world that my devotee never perishes. So hence, a practicing devotee being absolutely convinced that Krishna protects, he is not worried about anything. Even though he may be sitting at the edge of the seat, even though last minute things would have not happened, he is convinced that I will not be let down. So, our journey in Krishna consciousness, we should make sure that we are able to increase our sense of dependency on the Supreme Lord for the Supreme Lord to express his sense of urgency in rescuing us, in protecting us. The second reflection is that the Daityas or the demons, even though they have been defeated, but they are still trading, they are still checking how powerful our opponent demigods are. And the reality is the demigods, unlike earlier, they were so dependent, so powerful because of their surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the promise that Supreme Personality of Godhead made to the demigods, saying that you will be protected and I will look after you. So, in our journey to Krishna consciousness, in our endeavor to practice Krishna consciousness, we are not once, not twice, but multiple times, we are assured by our acharyas who say that a person who has taken up to the process of glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a person who has taken up the process of spirituality, a person who has taken up the process of Krishna consciousness as directed by bona fide authorities, as directed by the Shastras, because everybody is sentimental, everybody is in their own ways, in their own whims and fancies. They may be thinking themselves to be devotional. But it is extremely important to note that if somebody is surrendered to Krishna, uh, then no amount of fear or pressure would affect them or deter them. Shoka, moha, bhayapaha. Meaning, those who have glorified the Supreme Lord, those who have participated in celebrating the Supreme Lord, those who have dedicated the life in hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, in being a dutiful follower of the Supreme Lord, what is Srimad Bhagavatam explains? Shoka, moha, bhayapaha. They will be free from lamentation. They will be freed from greed. They will be freed from fear. So, the second step or the second aspect of it is, these demigods, they don't hesitate to go to Krishna again and again because of two things. One is because they love him, not as much as gopis, but then still they love and respect them. Second is they are convinced, surrendered unto them, knowing for sure that Krishna will protect. Rakshishyati Visvaso. So my second reflection is to say, from this current context, that the demigods, by surrendering to Krishna, they are not demonstrating their fear. Even though it is explained that out of no other rescue they have gone to surrender to Krishna, they know for sure Krishna will protect. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 7th chapter, 7th shloka, very clearly explained. Shoka, moha, bhayapaha. Shoka, moha, bhayapaha, meaning a person who has got closest proximity with the Supreme Lord, when they hear about the glorification of the Supreme Lord, there is nothing that they need to be worrying about. They don't need to lament. They don't need to be greedy, and they don't be afraid. Rather, they are able to go back home, back to Godhead, and develop Krishna Prema by being in contact with Krishna. So my second reflection is that being a devotee may bring in some challenges to come out of our own conditioning, but it is the most celebrated, wonderful path to be in. When somebody is a practicing devotee, he can be free from lamentation, greed, and fear. Demigods are demonstrating them. Radhanath Maharaj once mentioned that gopis of Vrindavan, they were challenged almost every day. Some demons or the other used to attack these Vrindavan Vasis almost every day. But then, because of their extraordinary attachment and understanding about Krishna being their beloved and will protect, They were free from any kind of lamentation, any kind of moha, attraction, greed, and any kind of fear. So that's my second reflection. The third and last reflection is that even though the demigods have the sense of dependency, even though the demigods, because of the sense of dependency, got free from shoka, moha, bhaya, they were not lethargic. They were not laid back. They were not waiting for some miracle to happen. They were ready to go through the process of action and reaction as directed by Krishna. See, many a times in our own lives, when we are surrendering to Krishna, when we are serving Krishna, we surrender and serve Krishna from the perspective of getting something from Krishna, cut-shorting some endeavors, expecting some shortcuts. But then, because of their understanding of sense of dependency, understanding that this dependency gives me freedom from lamentation, hankering, fear, they have fought and not just relaxed. Meaning, the demigods demonstrating here, even other places also devotees demonstrating here, just because I am pushed into problem, I am not saying, Krishna help me, I will not do anything. The demigod said, I will do everything. As you say, I will perform my action. You extend your support. What generally people do, please help me, please help me, please help me. Recently, Jayapataka Maharaj was here for 12-13 days in Navi Mumbai. So many times we all got opportunity to meet him, get blessings from him. So one devotee very nicely pointed out, what is that actually called blessings from Maharaj, blessings from self-realized soul? For sure, performing some close proximity services, Vapu Seva, is a blessing. But the real point is, what do we do with that blessing? How do we transform that blessings into our spiritual life? So we are at least, all of us who are initiated and regular devotees, it is not that we are not blessed. We are blessed regularly. But we have not yet fully learned the process of applying the blessings in changing my svabhava, changing my actions, changing my applications. So hence the third aspect of it is, demigods are appreciated not only for their sense of dependency, not only for their surrender, but also for their prudence in ready to fight, ready to do as directed by Narayana, which means I will not keep quiet, sit at home for miracle to happen. I will do my duty. I will put in my endeavor. I am ready to go by fight. I will churn the ocean. I will challenge the demons. But I will leave the result to the hands of Krishna. Karmandyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu katachana. I will perform what is expected of me. But I will also depend on the results offered by Krishna. So my third and last reflection is, as a practicing devotee, as much as we develop the sense of dependency on the Lord, as much as we are able to realize that this Krishna consciousness will free us from Shoka Moha Bhaya, we need to remember that we also have some role to play, which is to apply the activities of Krishna consciousness in our life. Otherwise, the blessings will remain. Wait for us to act. The blessings that we received will not wither away, will not go anywhere. But for it to show its effect, we'll have to do something. Doctor will give directions for the husband and wife to become a parent. The doctor will give medicines. The doctor will give counseling. But the act of trying to beget a child has to be done. The teacher can teach, help a poor student to study and perform well. But actually studying and going to the examination is a duty of a student. Similarly, Acharyas, Vaishnavas, Krishna, everybody will give us their blessings, protection. It is up to us. How do we use them into our stride in glorifying Krishna? So, this Samudra Manthan pastime, as I said in the beginning, Krishna extended his help not once, not twice, but at every instance, only because the demigods did what they were asked to do. In our lives also, it is same. When somebody is giving you a task, when somebody is giving you an opportunity, you go to him again for blessings. The very first question he can ask is, what did you do with an earlier opportunity? How successful you are in an earlier opportunity? So, if we have not made any progress, asking mercy, please, please bless me, it's a joke. Because you have been blessed, you've been asked to do something, let's do it. So, from that perspective, demigods are different from demons because of their obedience, because of their readiness to change, because of the readiness to surrender to the Supreme Lord, because of them being in the side of righteousness. Otherwise, in terms of prowess, sometimes demons have been more powerful than demigods. So, to that extent, a lesson learned is that we need to make sure that as much as we are dependent on Krishna, as much as we glorify Krishna, that much we are supposed to also make sure that we perform our duties, perform our responsibilities in pleasing the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, it will be just Srama Evahi Kevalam. So these are the three sets of reflections that I would like to bring in from this current context where the Mohini Murti is going to appear very soon after the demigods won over demons when Krishna personally, was guiding and directing the demigods. Finally, the demigods have been, taken care, blessed, and protected. So thank you all so much for participating in this early morning Bhagavatam class. And if there are any questions, comments, reflections, I'll be happy to respond. Hare Krishna. Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class, Prabhu, with all your reflections. I always look forward to your class. You spoke about first one is sense of dependency attracts sense of urgency. The second one was by surrendering to Krishna as directed by Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, we can free ourselves from lamentation, greed, and fear, but we should not stop there. And we need to remember that we have a role to play. Otherwise, blessings we received, they will just be there waiting for our efforts from our side. If anybody has any other any questions, comments, please go ahead and start. I'm gonna stop here and open the floor.
Okay, looks like everybody is clear, or probably I'm not so clear. So thank you all so much. Any comments, critiques, if it's there last minute, then I'll be happy to respond. Surinder Prabhu, you have something to say?
No, Prabhuji, no question at all. I just thanks everybody.
Thank you, thank you.
Prabhu, I have one question if nobody has any question.
Sure, Mother.
Yeah, so Prabhu, day-to-day life, like it's so difficult to stay steadfast. Like the mind is so unsteady and flickering that before you even realize we slip, and after that we are like, oh my gosh, I slipped again. So how do you have any advice, Prabhu, on preventing that? Like every time it's like after that, after whatever we don't want to do.
Very important question. I guess if I have to answer this, I'll first answer it for myself before even answering it for yourself. Theoretically, I have an answer, but I'm very conscious and also want to personally confess to say that even though I'm speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a great opportunity to serve all of you, uh, I'm still not a purified, soul where I need to go through a lot more purifications required. So if I'm answering, doesn't mean that I'm free from those vices. So let me give this disclaimer. So I'm equally patient. As I need the prescription that I'm going to share with you. So what Shastra says in terms of so basically I'll give a thread. The thread is Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, what is he asking? My dear Krishna, what is that which is being forced upon me as if it is entrusted? He is not able to, comprehend what is that aspect that is absolutely forced upon myself. So I'm not able to even come out of it. I'm not even able to overcome that. So what is that aspect of Krishna? I'm not able to, realize that. I'm not able to experience that. So Krishna says that yes, that is called lust. So then Arjuna's next question is, how come, from where come this lust or this vices, come over me? So Krishna is answering that. I'm just giving a paraphrasing, not the sequential. It's a compilation of thoughts. So Krishna is saying it is because of our extended association with worldly minded people, or extended association with um, sense gratificatory things. So then Arjuna is asking, so what is the way forward? How can I get rid of this problem? Which is what the question is. How can I get rid of this impulsive mind's distraction? So Krishna is saying that only by strict disciplined routine you can overcome this. Then Arjuna is asking, how is that possible that I can discipline my mind? Krishna is saying, by associating with those who have disciplined themselves. So the answer is pretty straightforward, but the process is, depends on how intense we are in our prayers. If you can open Bhagavad Gita and see the very first instruction, as an instruction, Krishna gave to Arjuna was a very interesting point. Krishna, when he started speaking Bhagavad Gita, when he accepted Arjuna as a student, the first instruction or the first advice Krishna gave to Arjuna was tolerate. Learn to tolerate. In our spiritual affairs, one of the important agenda is we should learn to tolerate. What do we tolerate? Tolerate the urge of our senses. It is so strong that we fall quite regularly. But that's in 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna clarifies that one who is regularly practicing abhyasa yoga yuktena. 8th chapter, 12th verse, if I'm right. Abhyasa yoga yuktena. So by regular practice, my dear Arjuna, he's using the word abhyas in many places. This is one place that he is using. The chapter which is called Attaining the Supreme, he is telling by regular practice. So the answer is, so this is a common problem, common solution, but the solution, how it is applied, varies from individual to individual. So in my life, how I'm going to handle my senses, my time, my emotion, my intelligence against the very powerful lust will vary from somebody else. For me, lust comes in the form of bodily, sensual, sexual impulses. For somebody, lust might come in the form of power, position. For somebody else, lust comes in the form of money, name, fame, followers. Somebody says beauty of the body. So it depends upon where our weaknesses are. But the solution is by disciplined way associating with self-realized soul. And last but not least, it is explained that all these energy, the motivation for us to be disciplined, follow devotees, will come when we read Srimad Bhagavatam every day. 7th canto, 1st chapter, shloka number 30 and 31. Kamat, Krodhat, Bhayat, Snehat. Any one way, if you are in contact with Krishna, in some form or the other, if you are connected with Krishna, then we will be able to easily develop the Krishna consciousness, so long as we are conscious about not committing sinful activities. Prabhupada, there is a beautiful purport, 7.130. He says, concentrating one's mind upon the transcendental activities of Krishna, either through kama, either through sneha, either through bhaya, krodha, anyway. And the very next verse, 7.131, Sukadeva Goswami explains about individual example of each of them. Srila Prabhupada writes in 7.130 purport, Sishupala got rid of enviousness because of his inimical nature of Krishna. Can you imagine? So anyway, any form of coming in contact with Krishna should be encouraged, but it is easily said than done. That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita encourages we should learn to hear from a bona fide source and not from a relative source. Am I making sense, Mataji?
Yes, Mahaprabhuji, thank you so much for all the references. I'm writing them down. Thank you, Prabhu. I'll read the purports that you just mentioned. 7.130 and 7.131.
Right.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your wonderful explanations.
Thank you, all Guru Prabhupada. Any other questions, comments? Otherwise, we'll end the session.
If there are no further questions or comments, let's offer our obeisances to all the senior Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
जय
शिला प्रभुपाद की जय.
की जय
His Grace Ram Giridhari Prabhu ji ki
प्रभु की
jai.
जय
All assembled devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Dandavat
हरे
Pranam.
कृष्ण हरि
Thank you,
बोल
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
हरि
Hare
बोल
Krishna.